Hello and welcome to the channel. Here we talk about my experiences during lockup for educational use. I do not condone or glorify the behaviors in my stories. I spent 2 years in lockup at CFCF, and now that I'm out, I want to tell y'all about it. In this episode, we're going to talk about how people get high in jail, all right? And now, look, like I said in the intro, I do not condone or glorify said behavior, right? However, all right, however, um, you are going to be extremely stressed out. You get what I'm saying? And usually in those extremely stressful situations, people don't usually make the best decisions, okay? And I don't entirely blame them, okay? Because look, you're in jail. You're going to be naturally depressed. You get what I'm saying? Some people, they trying to, get high, just spend their time. You get what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I don't really condone or glorify that, and I went through my little period of that as well. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. But yeah. Now the first type of drug that I'm gonna talk about that I've seen people using in CFCF is something called subs or Suboxone. All right. Now, pretty much, the jail, at least CFCF jail, gives out Suboxone to the inmates that come into the jail, who are like perk heads or crackheads or whatever. Pretty much, they're addicts. They go to jail and they, long story short, they get free drugs essentially. The point of subs, how I understand it, is to get pretty much really high until you don't want to get high anymore. Pretty much. Um, yeah, it's an opiate blocker, so it's inside of the opiate category. It's just pretty much free dope that the jail is giving out to inmates. All right, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. People will be coming back on the pod puking because it's their first day off the subs or whatever, and it's actually really crazy because you see people literally throw up their dinner from a night ago. You know what I'm saying? It really makes you puke your whole entire guts out. Um, Yet, how people be using subs in jail, right? They will take a whole sub, right? And they'll split it into 16 pieces. They'll take 1/16 of that sub, right? And then they'll get a spoon with some water on the spoon, and then they'll dissolve their 1/16 piece of a sub inside that water, and then they'll snort it up their nose, pretty much called going up the snot box, pretty much. All right. Now that's one way that people abuse subs. People also, I've seen it done, all right? People also put subs in their eyeballs, right? And literally it turns grown men into little boys real quick. I'm not gonna lie, because first of all, I would never put no drugs in my eye. Like, I wear glasses, so that's like a fear of mine. But still, um, yeah, people out there are really crazy. All right, but yeah, if you put sub in your eye, of course, as you can imagine, it'll burn like hell. Okay. Also, it's gonna make your eye puff out. All right, you're gonna also like have real blurry vision and red puffy eyes. Okay. um don't put any types of drugs inside of your eyes, people. Like, it's just not smart. All right, it's just not smart. Don't do that. Okay. The next type of drug in jail that I'm going to talk about, all right, is a monster. Okay, I've been saying it for the entirety of my 2 years, and I'm going to say it now. Deuce is a monster. Okay, and what Deuce is, it's pretty much regular paper, right? But that paper is soaked with a mystery confection of drugs. Okay, now I am not a chemist. Okay, I do not know the recipe to make Deuce. Okay, but however, I do know that a few inebriants are water soluble and, burnable, smokable at the end of the day. Okay, now few of the drugs that may be on Deuce, okay, may be wet. Okay, and what wet is, it's pretty much embalming fluid. Okay, dippers. Okay, it could be wet, all right, or Fetty, all right, along with maybe some roach spray, all right. But that's essentially what Deuce is: paper soaked in mystery drugs. Now, Deuce is a monster for a plethora of reasons, but I'm only gonna mention a few. Okay, Deuce is a monster because it's extremely, extremely addictive. Okay, it has a very, very fast high. Okay, and by very, very fast, I mean the maximum amount of time that you're gonna be fried for is about maybe 45 minutes. All right, maximum. On average, it's probably gonna be like 5 minutes. Okay, um, Deuce is a monster because it can kill. Okay, I've heard of it killing um people and then them having to need Narcan to get brought back to life. Okay, it's a very, very real thing because again, it may have Fetty on there, and Fetty is extremely addictive and dangerous. Okay, so yeah, be very, very wary of Deuce. Another reason why Deuce is a monster, right, is because it can make you have an epi. Okay, now what an epi is, it's pretty much short for episode. Okay, it's another way of saying that you're tweaking, you start drawing. It's another way of saying like that you're geeked up. Okay, you're having an epi, you're having an episode. Okay, um I've seen people who are having epis at the time. I've seen somebody throw up on. I've seen people throw up on themselves multiple times. This one time I seen somebody start smoking, right, and he headed towards the shower, right, but he started like punching at air in the shower. Now, mind you, there was nobody in the shower with him. He was just fighting his demons. He was literally in there fighting his demons, and I was trying to help him. Because eventually he had slipped, and somebody else had came up and picked him up. Because I'm not gonna lie, he had slipped inside the piss shower, and I was not about to pick him up. Somebody else picked him up out of the piss shower mess, and I was just trying to yell out, "Yo, somebody get some help! Somebody get some help! Somebody get some help!" Like, meanwhile, everybody else was just like standing there, because they was already hip to this dude and his antics, because he would be inside of his cell smoking all the time. So like, it wasn't his first epi, it wasn't his first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? But people die from Deuce. People legitimately die from Deuce. Like, people drown themselves. People literally, their heart will give out. It's stuff like that. Feel me? That's why you should really watch out for the stuff you put in your body in jail, okay? Something else that I've seen someone having an epi do, right? I've seen him jump head first off the top tier, all right? Now, for context, right? In jail, right? Your pod is gonna be pretty much split up between top tier and bottom tier, essentially upstairs and downstairs, where the downstairs cells are 1 through 16 and the top cells are 17 through 32. Okay, so pretty much the top tier, right, is separated from the bottom tier by let's just say 25 to 30 steps. I saw somebody jump headfirst down because he was really fried off of Deuce. Okay, so when I say that Deuce makes you tweak out, I literally mean it. They don't call it an epi for no reason. It's short for episode. Y'all get what I'm saying? Now there are people who only smoke to chase an epi. You get what I'm saying? Now those type of people roll up stuff called epi sticks. Now an epi stick, right, is pretty much enough Deuce inside of your smoke, right, inside of your smokable roll up, right, to make you epi out. Okay, now I've seen people epi out day after day after day after day, and honestly, it gets really expensive really fast for those type of people, so they start doing really grimy type stuff to get that newfound monkey off their back. But I digress. This whole video is really a warning about inebriants in jail, okay? And I have to make this video because I've seen too many young people in jail start doing something that they had no business doing, that they weren't on the streets doing, etc. Okay, it's not healthy. All right, it may be fun and freeing in the minute, right? But drugs are very dangerous, to say the least, and I really shouldn't have to say that. Mind you, right, again, warnings about drugs in jail. If you want to smoke anything in jail, be it tobacco, be it some bud, all right, be it some Deuce, all right, whatever it is, you're more than likely gonna have to roll up in brown paper bag, all right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, specifically I'm talking about brown paper lunch bag that you went to elementary school with and your parents used to pack little lunches with. You're probably going to be smoking them if you go to jail and you have a habit, you know, that you just don't have the willpower to kick. You get what I'm saying? You're going to be smoking brown paper bag and probably tea bag as filler. So if you want to smoke tea and brown paper bag, then be my guest. All right. Also, I'm also going to throw this out there because it's also pretty crazy. All right. If you don't have any tea bag to go inside of your brown paper bag roll up, right? Some inmates, I've seen it done. Some inmates will get 1-ply toilet paper and they'll roll up the toilet paper as filler, and they call it smoking paper on paper on paper, because you're smoking the brown paper bag, then you're smoking the Deuce, which is drugged soaked paper, and then they're smoking toilet paper as filler. All right, so that type of stuff is really nasty, it's really dirty, okay? And honestly, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And I understand where y'all coming from, but it's not a good look. Alright? It's a habit you definitely want to kick. If y'all like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and have a great rest of y'all day.